Welcome to Archetypes Support I want. Today's already episode 6. We are gonna focus on Exodia, but more specifically on Exodius, because I really don't like this adaptation of Exodius we got. It's a good monster. It saw a lot of plays. It has some unique niches it can fulfill, but what it was intended to, being a boss monster that lets you win the duel if you have all Exodia pieces, it's kind of disappointing. And in the anime, he had also support. It was a lot harder to summon, but you had a really overpowered monster. And why do I want Exodius support? Well, I kind of mentioned it. The printed Exodius is really underpowered compared to its anime counterpart. Effects way too hard to pull off. Anime effect is too slow for a modern format, so I think it's fair to print it on the modern card, and support cards haven't been adapted yet, and we know how much Konami lately likes to adapt anime cards by really even copying scenes that happen in the anime and create unique cards with unique effects. Like we have Monster Reborn, we have now spell card Monster Reborn. You know, um, maybe stuff can be done with Exodus to balance it out. Maybe we can get a retrain, or maybe we can get cards that treat its original effect and to rewrite it to something that's proper, and that's what I did. I picked the 3 Exodius support cards from the anime and kind adapted the effects from the anime and kind of altered it to be more balanced or rather effective in the modern meta. It's not probably still not good enough, but we will get to it. The most important card is the middle one. The others are not that important, but we can still discuss them first. So we can end in a high note. So we have Defense Seal Wall, which is activate only if you have Exodius, the ultimate forbidden one, on your field. When your opponent declares an attack, you can negate the attack of a monster and end the battle phase. And if there is a forbidden one is removed, so banish this card. And when this card is in the grave, wait. When Exodius is not on the field, destroy this card. I think this part can just be removed from the card. I think that's kind of worthless. Advantages would be people have less to read. If this card is, I give it a Graveyard Banish effect, which you can banish it, return all Exodius, the forbidden one, from the field or banish zone to your deck. And for every one you returned, you can draw 1 card. And next is Ritual of the Forbidden One. And what this did in the anime is just you send all your Exodia pieces back to your deck, shuffles, and send 2 monsters to the graveyard, and then summon Exodius. I altered its effect, so you can activate it from the hand or from the graveyard, like in the anime. And you return all cards from the field and graveyard to your deck, and then send 2 Forbidden One cards from your hand or deck to the graveyard. Then special summon Exodius the Forbidden One, and Exodius would normally get 2000 tag points, but if they are normal monsters, but in this case we ignore summoning conditions because Exodius cannot be summoned by other ways. A Vortex card is in your graveyard. All monsters that would be sent to the graveyard except by the effect of this card and Exodius are sent to the deck. A monster summoned by this effect card's effect becomes the following. So here I just copy pasted the anime effect of Exodius and kinda have rewritten it in a way that it's standard by problem-solving card text, but knowing Konami, they will just make a new Exodius to save the amount of card text you have to read, or maybe they just give beneficial additional effects to Exodius. So what this card gives you a Exodius is battle protection and destruction protection through card effects. The next thing is when Exodius attacks, you can send one forbidden one from your hand deck to the graveyard, and then Exodius gains 1000 ATK for every forbidden one card in your graveyard. So it can technically reach just 5000 attack by if you throw the 5 pieces of Exodia, but in this case it's if the 5th piece is in the graveyard you win. So there's a problem with Exodius that prevents you from winning it with it easier than you think, is that you can only win if you send Exodia parts through its own effect. But this card allows you to send with this spell card as well cards to the graveyard, and kind of takes away those training wheels, because the Exodius we have, its win condition is way too hard to achieve. You have to 5 times attack, and you don't get 5 rounds in normal Yu-Gi-Oh! So this effect is more than balanced in my mind. Rage of the Forbidden One activates only during the battle phase while you control an Exodius. During the end phase you can negate effects of any spell, trap, and monster effect. Well, with this card you can kind of prevent your opponent from skipping the battle phase or whatnot. So Exodius can attack to get its win condition. At least this is what I came up with. Maybe you guys have better ideas. I don't like the Exodius we have is nice. You can just do extra deck shenanigans, but if you want to use Exodius for as a win condition, it's way too awful. So these support cards removes that aspect of Exodius, but in exchange you get excuse me. In exchange you get a really badass boss monster with a winning countdown. I hope you like this video. Maybe we can do another one. Really enjoyed this duel. As the Phoenix or Edo Phoenix, whichever you prefer, against Adrian or Amon. It was a pretty cool duel, and also I think all the duels with Amon are great, but especially the ones where he summons Exodia are really impressive. At the start you think like, oh, you know how Exodia works and stuff, and then you see this completely mysterious monster nobody knows about that is basically giving you an alternative way to win with Exodia. And then what does Konami do? Give you a complete trash card adaptation, because they think the actual card is way too OP, but let's see what you think about it. Do you think Exodius with its anime effect would be too powerful? Write it in the comments and tell me what kind of support would you give Exodius. Maybe we can make one for Exodia Necros, because Exodia Necros is really awful. It's even worse than Exodius, because it has no valuable way to reliably get out.